heading into autumn. Cracking story from a Worcestershire school. We'll be there in just a moment, actually, celebrating a big rise in GCSE passes, all thanks in part to the use of iPods. We're going to be in Manchester with our political correspondent for Ed Miliband's big day, without his big brother. And we'll speak to a cancer survivor on the day that Macmillan Cancer supporters saying that the current follow-up system for cancer patients is a waste of time and needs to be completely overhauled. What's your experience? Thanks for tuning in this morning. Great to have you with us. Howard Bentham with you until 9 this morning. Lots to talk about, actually. Let's start, actually, with this story about the school and the iPods, because I think this is cracking, actually. GCSE results at a Worcestershire school have risen by a fifth. That's in part thanks to the use of iPods. King Charles I High School in Kidderminster joined the scheme this year, which has meant that some students have access to special downloadable version of these revision sessions, so you can play them on your iPod and, I guess, learn on the school bus. And now figures show that the number of students who got grades A star to C rose from 59% in 2009 to 77% this year. Matthew Bone is our reporter at the school this morning. Matthew Bone is our reporter at the school this morning.
Hello, Howard.
Take that iPod off.
Having a quick listen to the iPod there. Yeah, this is actually it's quite a usual sight that you see around the place. Let's be honest, often with students with the iPods in and there's not paying a great deal of attention to a great deal else. See it on the buses, you see it walking up and down the streets. But actually, one school here in Kidderminster has actually harnessed that to help with actual revision. I'm at King Charles I School. I'm with the deputy head now, Geraint Roberts. Geraint, just tell us a little bit firstly about exactly how this worked and the results that you've seen.
Well, about four years ago, we changed our mission statement really to looking at raising achievement through engagement. And what we really meant by that was looking at ways to engage the students in the learning process. And when GCSEPod approached us with the revision materials, we thought that was a fantastic way of engaging our students. And as you just said, Matt, name me a student who doesn't have an iPod or an MP3 player. So we said, right, let's use that as an opportunity to engage students in learning. And it's really capturing their imagination. We're at the early stages, but we wanted to develop further.
So when I was at college, we weren't allowed to have sort of iPods in the library and things like that. Is that what you would actually see here? You'd see sort of students sat in the library with headphones on.
Yeah, it's part of our learning resource centre. So you'll book the iPod out in just the same way as you would a textbook, and then you'll take that home. You can book it, say, for 2 weeks, and on that iPod then are various podcasts. Where we see it developing, we're launching our virtual learning environment this year, and then what the idea there is, we'll have the podcast available on the virtual learning environment, so then students can download them at home onto their iPods or onto their MP3 players.
When you see some students sitting with the headphones in, how do you know that they're actually listening to a podcast and not a bit of music?
Well, they're our iPods, and so that's the only thing on there are the revision materials. Otherwise, I'll have my suspicions, absolutely.
Okay. And what kind of results have you seen then? You said that there's been an impact on the actual GCSE results.
Yeah, I mean, it's always difficult to say that one thing was what had the impact, but the reality is, last year 59% of our children achieved 5 A star to C in GCSE. This year it's 77, and I would say the iPod is just part of the overall strategy really to raise attainments at King Charles.
Okay, let's have a very quick word with Rhiannon Meadows as well, who's one of the students here. Rhiannon, you've actually used the iPods. How have you found them?
I found them absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's helped me a lot. It's helped me with science and history. I've gained up a grade.
And is it something that a lot of your friends use as well, or is it quite popular?
Yeah, it's very popular because it helps us gain a grade and understand things more clearly.
Okay. Well, Howard, we'll be finding out just how popular they are a little bit later on as a few more of the students roll into school, and hopefully I'll just pull the iPod headphones out of their ears and ask them a couple of questions.
Yeah, and then just put the hand up to you. Speak to the hand. Yeah. That's brilliant. That's a great news story. That is Matthew Bone in Kidderminster speaking with the students in a while. Nice to hear a positive story. 8:10.
Saturday's Super Anthem at breakfast.
BBC Hereford and Worcester.
McIntyre can go to Blackpool. Let's go to Kidderminster. Let's go to the Worcestershire school where they've seen a remarkable rise in GCSE passes, thanks in part to the use of modern technology. At King Charles I High School in Kidderminster, they're using iPods with downloadable revision sessions to study for their exams, and the grades have jumped from 59% A star to C's to 77% in just 12 months. Matthew Bone is there. Matt?
Yeah, Howard, I'm just outside the main entrance to the school at the moment. It's really filling up now. Loads of children around just waiting to go to the lessons. The bell will toll in about 5 minutes, and they're going to have to actually go and do a bit of learning. But before they do that, I've got a few of the students here. We'll firstly come to Jamie. Jamie, just tell us a little bit about what you did with the iPod then, what the whole idea was.
We use them for revision in subjects like science, maths and English.
How did it work? How good was it?
It worked all right because we got moved up sets in science and better grades in maths and English.
And is it something that you used quite a lot then? How many hours did you actually spend with the actual revision stuff going in your ears?
Probably about an hour a day, but I had it for the week. So.
Is that more than you'd normally do, sort of just out of a textbook?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got Katie here as well. Katie, how about yourself? How useful was it for you?
It was very useful. It helped boost my grades.
And how do you know? What kind of things did you hear that you could actually get from that you couldn't get from a textbook?
Well, it explained things more than it did in the textbook. I managed to remember things more quickly.
Was it tempting to actually just stick a bit of music on instead, rather than actually using the revision stuff? No, she's checking it out. Probably not. As Rhiannon here as well, who we spoke to earlier. Rhiannon, just tell us a little bit more about how it helped you.
It helped me a lot because I moved up science sets because of it, and I'm more like a visual learner and listening more, which will help me a lot.
So you're more of a sort of a listener than a reader then?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you come to that conclusion?
Because normally, like, if I hear teachers talking about it and explain it more, then it'll just help me a lot more because I just find it easier than reading in the textbook.
Okay. We're also talking about slang words today. Do you or any friends actually use it? Are you aware of using any words like quite a lot, or in it, or things like that?
Not lately now, but they used to before.
Right. Do you reckon that maybe the iPods have helped with that?
Yeah, possibly.
Just with like an improvement in general speech. I've also got the head teacher here, Howard, Grant Roberts. Deputy head, I'm sorry, I've just given you a promotion.
Yeah,
And so how much have you noticed sort of what sort of students say change over the years? Does it happen more now, this kind of slang use?
I'm not sure it happens more. I mean, language is a living thing, isn't it? And I think slang has been going on for years. I think the key, what we stress with our students is audience and purpose. The way you speak in your kitchen or the way you speak to your family is different to where you might speak in an interview, isn't it? And I think that's the key for the students, really. As long as they're aware of that, so if they're texting, that's a different language almost.
Yeah.
But that's not what they're going to use if they're applying for a job.
So Howard, I suppose it's like the kind of interview kind of style you do, isn't it?
Yeah, stop that. And one quick question you can fire at the deputy head teacher there, who you've just promoted, Mr. Roberts. What's on his iPod?
Yeah. What's on your iPod, Mr. Roberts?
What's on my iPod at the moment? Finley Quay's on my iPod at the moment. Not many revision materials, I have to confess.
Nice stuff, and congratulations to the school for getting such fabulous results. 8:36.
Started with a